du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe.
In the annals of history, few figures remain as controversial and impactful as Adolf Hitler. A leader who rose from obscurity to command a nation, his vision reshaped Germany and left an indelible mark on the world. But how did one man wield such influence, and at what cost? This is the story of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, Austria. His father, Alois, was a strict government official, while his mother, Clara, was loving and devoted. As a child, Adolf dreamed of becoming a great artist, spending hours sketching instead of studying. At 16, he left school and moved to Vienna to pursue his passion for art. Confident in his talent, he applied to the Academy of Fine Arts but was rejected. His dream shattered, and soon after, he faced another devastating loss. His mother died in 1907, leaving him alone and heartbroken. Life in Vienna was harsh. He lived in shelters, painted postcards for money, and watched the city's political chaos unfold. He absorbed nationalist and anti-Semitic ideas that would shape his future. In 1913, seeking a fresh start, he moved to Munich. The failed artist from Vienna was about to find a new path, one that would lead him to the center of history in ways no one could have predicted. Adolf Hitler's political rise began after World War I, where he served as a soldier for Germany. Disillusioned by Germany's defeat in the harsh Treaty of Versailles, he found purpose in nationalist politics. In 1919, he joined a small extremist group called the German Workers' Party, drawn by their vision of a strong, unified Germany. Hitler quickly rose through the ranks, using his fiery speeches to captivate audiences. By 1921, he became the party's leader, transforming it into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party. His message was simple but powerful: blame Germany's problems on Jews, communists, and the Treaty of Versailles, and promise to restore the nation's former glory. In 1923, Hitler attempted a coup, known as the Beer Hall Putsch, but failed and was imprisoned. During his time in jail, he wrote Mein Kampf, outlining his vision for Germany. Upon release, he rebuilt the Nazi Party, this time focusing on gaining power legally. By 1933, he became Chancellor of Germany, setting the stage for his dictatorship in World War II. Adolf Hitler's dictatorship is a chilling yet captivating chapter in history. Rising from the aftermath of World War I and the Great Depression, Hitler's promises of national revival resonated with a struggling Germany. In 1933, after being appointed Chancellor, he quickly consolidated power through clever political maneuvers, including the Reichstag Fire Decree and the Enabling Act, which granted him dictatorial authority. Hitler's regime focused on extreme nationalism, with the idea of a pure Aryan race at its core, leading to aggressive expansion and the horrific policies of anti-Semitism, which culminated in the Holocaust. His charismatic speeches, full of passion and fire, captivated millions, creating a fervent following that turned into a machine of propaganda, fear, and control. Yet, despite its initial successes, the dictatorship brought unparalleled devastation, leading to a devastating world war, millions of lives lost, and a legacy marked by brutality. This dark period reminds us of the dangers of unchecked power, the fragility of democracy, and the enduring need for vigilance against tyranny. Hitler's side of World War II is a story of ambition, vision, and disastrous overreach. Driven by his belief in German supremacy and the need for territorial expansion, he sought to create a vast empire across Europe. In 1939, his invasion of Poland set the world on fire, triggering the start of the war. With his skilled generals and swift tactics, Germany blitzed through much of Europe, leaving a trail of destruction and fear in its wake. But Hitler's thirst for power knew no bounds. He aimed to overthrow the established order and spread his vision of the Third Reich. His military brilliance in the early years dazzled, as he outmaneuvered opponents and conquered lands. Yet, his ideological obsession, particularly with the invasion of Russia and the Holocaust, would ultimately lead to his downfall. The harsh winters, vast distances, and unrelenting resistance slowly turned the tide against him. While his regime's early successes are often admired for their boldness and innovation, the immense human cost and ultimate destruction left behind show the tragic consequences of Hitler's vision. Adolf Hitler's ideology was centered around the belief in Aryan supremacy, which led to his intense anti-Semitism and the horrific atrocities of the Holocaust. He viewed Jews and other minorities as inferior, fueling policies that aimed to eliminate them. At the core of Hitler's vision was the idea of a racially pure society, where Germans, particularly those of Aryan descent, would dominate Europe. He strongly promoted fascism, a totalitarian system that rejected democracy, stressing the absolute power of the state and the Führer. Nationalism was another key element, with Hitler aiming to expand Germany's territory, often through military aggression. Militarism was a cornerstone of his policies, glorifying war and preparing the nation for conquest. Hitler's ideology led to the devastation of World War II, resulting in millions of lives lost and forever changing the course of history. The consequences of his beliefs continued to serve as a warning about the dangers of hatred, intolerance, and unchecked power. Adolf Hitler, the infamous dictator of Nazi Germany, shared a longtime companionship with Eva Braun. She was a photographer and his confidant, remaining by his side despite the chaos of World War II. The two lived together privately in his Bavarian retreat and later in the Führer bunker, Berlin, during the war's final days. As defeat loomed for Nazi Germany, Hitler married Eva Braun on April 29, 1945, in a small, solemn ceremony within the bunker. Less than 40 hours later, on April 30, they both died by suicide to avoid capture by advancing Allied forces. Hitler consumed cyanide and shot himself, while Braun also took cyanide. Their bodies were burned as per Hitler's orders, ensuring they wouldn't be desecrated by enemies. Their deaths marked the end of the Nazi regime and left a dark, infamous legacy in world history. The story of their final days continues to intrigue historians and remains a stark reminder of the horrors of war and dictatorship. Hitler's legacy. Adolf Hitler, one of history's most infamous dictators, left a legacy marked by unparalleled destruction and profound tragedy. As the leader of Nazi Germany from 1933 to 1945, he rose to power by exploiting economic despair, nationalism, and propaganda, ultimately transforming Germany into a totalitarian state. His policies led to World War II, resulting in the deaths of over 70 million people, including the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. Despite his notorious reign, Hitler's ability to inspire mass loyalty and his vision of an expansive, ideologically driven empire showcase the complexity of his leadership. However, his ambitions for dominance and racial purity plunged the world into chaos and forever altered the course of history. Today, Hitler's name remains synonymous with tyranny, hatred, and the devastating consequences of unchecked power. His legacy serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the importance of vigilance against oppressive ideologies.